Hey guys, so this is more or less in response to yesterday's video. If you didn't see that, you might want to go back and watch that. 90% of my makeup collection is makeup made in China, so I wanted to see if it would be possible for me to do a full face of makeup using no products that are made in China. So let's get going because full face of makeup is going to take a while. So I'm going to hydrate my lips with my Lush Snow Fairy lip mask. Lush products are made in Canada. So this lip mask has a pink tint to it, but nothing crazy, It's not going to interfere with my lip products at all. So favorite primer is the Milani Conceal and Perfect Blur Out Smoothing Primer. I'm able to use this because this is made in Italy. I got a comment on yesterday's video, very first comment that came through, and somebody was talking about that products that are made in Italy don't necessarily equal quality and why. And I want to get it right. So I'm going to tell you what they said. I thought this was so interesting. The first comment that came through on yesterday's video, they said, just an FYI that made in Italy doesn't mean what it used to. Actually, for a while now, Chinese companies have set up shop in Italy just so they could say the product is made in Italy. The ingredients, materials, workers, etc. are from China and sent to Italy. Yeah, I thought that was so interesting. So just because it says made in Italy does not necessarily mean quality or not Chinese. So thank you, person that left that comment, because I did not know that. Those are the kind of comments that I really appreciate is, people that have more information than I do. There are some people out there that leave very helpful comments. Now, does that mean I'm not going to use my Milani primer anymore? Heck no. I love this primer, and Milani to me has always made excellent quality products. Does anybody remember when they used to make single eyeshadows? Oh my God, I loved those. So good. I wish they would do a line of single eyeshadows again because I don't feel like I don't currently have any of their palettes, eyeshadow palettes, but from what I remember, when I tried one, I didn't like it as much as I did their single shadows. But yeah, it's been a long time since I've had any of their eyeshadows. Okay, one of the reasons why I love this primer so much is it's hydrating, and whatever I put over it for foundation always looks nice. Although I wouldn't use anything for a foundation that was like creamy, super hydrating over a primer like this, just because, too much hydration can be not a good look. So the foundation that I'm going to use is the Maybelline Lumi Matte Foundation, and my shade is, well, the shade I bought is 115. Maybelline is made in the USA and Canada. Does it say on here? Let's look. Okay, I just checked the label. It says made in USA. So I like to put my foundation on a palette and then just take a little bit at a time. I initially wasn't sure about this color, but I actually think it works quite well. Yeah, I thought maybe I had bought the wrong color, but I think that actually blends in with my skin really well. Now, I like to go over my whole eye area, but I don't do that with the Pro Luxe that I typically use just because that is a totally mattifying. This is a Lumi matte, so it's not like a straight up matte foundation. But if it's a completely matte foundation like the Pro Luxe, I don't want to add any dryness to my eye area, but this foundation is not like that. So I can use this on the eye area, but see how that cancels out all the redness in my eye area. I have a lot of redness in my skin, and it makes it a pain to do makeup when you have that problem because you have to go in and cancel the redness before you can really do anything else. But wow, boy, this foundation is like, can't live without. Because now I look like a human being. Before I have any makeup on at all, it's not a pretty sight. Okay, for a corrector, I'm going to use the Revlon Glimmer Correcting Concealer. Revlon is made in the USA. This is shade number 105. So that's what I do. I just put some at the very beginning and then spread it out with the same brush that I used for my foundation. So not bad, right? But Estee Lauder Double Wear Stay in Place Concealer. I don't have the box that this came in, but I did look up where is Estee Lauder made. Estee Lauder is made in Belgium, Switzerland, the UK, and Canada. So it could be any one of those 4 countries. I'm going to wipe off the excess, and then I'm going to do the same thing I just did with the corrector, but this time I'm going to use a different brush. This is a Sephora concealer brush. Wow, that's a pretty good combination. But I sleep on, let's see, this side, is it? Yeah, I think it's this side. So my hair gets very flat on one side, and I get, no, actually, it's got to be this side, right? Because that's why I get that line there. I don't know. The camera that I'm using reverses everything, so it gets kind of confusing. Okay, so Estee Lauder made in possibly one of 4 countries. Now, I don't use powder because I don't like my skin to look or feel too dry, so I'm not going to use powder. So to contour my face, I'm going to use my L'Oreal Infallible Fresh Wear bronzer in the shade Fair, 200 Fair. L'Oreal products are made in the USA. I was kind of surprised to see that. I don't know why I thought it was going to say France, but this is actually a nice bronzer. This is a Real Techniques brush. And whatever I use for a bronzer, I do my whole contouring routine with it. Just checking to make sure that I don't have any big brown splotchy areas. I do not. Okay, nice. All right, for a blush, I'm going to use my Natasha Denona My Mini Dream Glow blush. And Natasha Denona is made in Italy. Natasha Denona is made in Italy. And I'm going to need a blush brush. I'm so used to using cream and liquid blushes now that I like to use my fingers that I didn't have a blush brush on the table. So this is what this looks like, and this first shade is like a highlighter, so I'm just going to go into the second and third shade. And this is a very like natural color, as you can see. I'm not even sure how you would describe that, to be honest with you. It's a very earthy, natural flush of color. And then let's just take a little bit of that highlighter with my finger, which is a gold, and go right across the top of my cheekbones. To get precise placement, I like to use my finger with highlighter. Okay, so because I did foundation all over my eyes, that should be sufficient in terms of an eyeshadow primer. So for eyeshadow, I'm going to use my Urban Decay. They just, re-released the original Naked palette not too long ago. Urban Decay is made in Canada. Okay, I just checked the box. Good thing I saved it. Made in USA. Okay. So it's not made in Canada, made in the USA. Okay, I'm going to use this Dirty Works brush that I bought at Ocean State Job Lot the other day. And I'm going to use the shade Naked from this palette. This color, something about that color is perfect, I feel, for the crease. It's just a very neutral brown that works with so much. So I'm just doing it in the crease and buffing it into the outer part of my lid as well. Okay, and on my lid, I'm going to use Urban Decay Moon Dust Single Shadow in the shade Lithium. And this is a brown with silver sparkles, and I like to use these moon dust shadows with my finger. So that's what that looks like. Has a bit of a golden sheen to it, but if you look on the website, it says brown with silver sparkles. So the tricky part is to get close enough to the lash line with your finger so that you get complete coverage. All right, I'm going to clean up this so I don't get it everywhere. Be right back. And I'm going to do one eye at a time just, to save time. Okay, for an eyeliner, Revlon came out with these Colorstay multiliners. You can use them as an eyeliner, as a lip liner, however you want to use them. They are a multi-use product. I have them in two different colors, and this one I'm going to use on my eyes. And this is in the shade, where is it? Dynamic Doer, number 006. Now, something you should know about this is, yes, you can use it on any part of your face that you want, but if you have previously used it on your lips and you want to use it on your eyes, you should sharpen it first, because we have a lot of germs in our mouths. So it's a good idea to give it a fresh sharp if you're going to use it on your eyes, because I don't remember the last time I used this. Did I use it on my eyes? Did I use it on my lips? I don't know. So just sharpened it just to be on the safe side. Safety first, you guys. So I'm going to use this on my eyes. So this is just like a neutral brown. It's got a little bit of a rosiness to it because, you know, they designed these color-wise in terms of thinking about lip liners, but we're going to use another one of these on my lips in a different shade when we get to that point in the makeup. All right, let me do the other eye and get caught up with you. Be right back. Okay, so I did the same thing on the other side. And now what I'm going to do, I'm going to take this AOA Studio brush, go back into the Natasha Nona blush palette, and just pick up some of that highlight shade and put that right on my brow bone. A lot of times I like to use my face highlighter to finish off an eyeshadow look. I don't know, I just like to coordinate everything like that and see how pretty that looks, especially in the inner corner. This one here, I gotta blend it a little bit right there. Okay, good. All right, now I already curled my lashes off camera just to try to save some time, and we're gonna use the L'Oreal Telescopic Original Waterproof Mascara. L'Oreal mascaras are made in the USA from what I have found out by looking it up online, because I don't have the packaging anymore that this mascara came with. I gotta stop doing that, throwing away the packaging when I buy makeup products, because there's a lot of good information that on there. You know, they tell you like the claims of the product and sometimes give you advice on application methods and everything. So I really got to stop doing that. I do that to save space for storage, but it's good to have that information. If I had less makeup, then it wouldn't be an issue. And I try to not keep any makeup that's really old just for safety reasons. But I still have a lot. But I feel like anybody that makes YouTube beauty videos has that same issue. But yeah, this mascara is great. L'Oreal mascaras usually are good, just in general. All right, so let's go on to the next step, which would be brows. Now, here's where I ran into a problem. I had no brow products that weren't made in China. So what can we do? Use an eyeshadow, okay? And I looked through all my eyeshadows trying to find something that would work for my brows, because my brows are a very unusual color. And so I needed a matte eyeshadow that would be in the right color. Fortunately, I had this eyeshadow palette by Too Faced. It's the Born This Way Cold Smolder Nudes palette. This is made in Italy. I'm going to need a brush. This doesn't even have a name on it, so I'm not even sure. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, it does. It's Moda. It's a Moda brush, so it's got a brush on one side and a spoolie on the other, which is what you have to have if you're going to use an eyeshadow. So this shade right here is called Cold Smolder. And I hope that's going to work. So I'm just going to pick up a little bit of that, and I hope it's going to work because this was the only thing I could find that looked like it might work. Ooh, that's really dark, you guys. Maybe if I blend it like crazy. I hope this is not going to be too dark. Yeah, I'm going to have to really blend this. This is going to take some time, so I'm going to work on this and come back because otherwise it's going to make the video crazy long. Okay, yeah, too dark. I think if I ever want to do this again, I definitely am going to need to buy a brow product that is going to work because using an eyeshadow was not an ideal situation. Okay, so next I'm going to use another one of those Revlon Colorstay multiliners. This one is in the shade Dallying, which is number 002. And this I'm going to use as a lip liner, so that's what that looks like. And it's like a berry, I guess you would say. Do I want to fill in my lips? The product I'm going to use over it. Yeah, I think I better. Yeah, okay. Nice color for my lips. Okay, the product I'm going to use over it is called, oh, Revlon is made in the USA, by the way. I don't know if I said that. No, I didn't. Revlon is made in the USA. Uh, Revlon Super Lustrous Glimmer in the shade Happy Hour 004. And this is a very sparkly, glittery lip gloss, which is good. This is a fairly new product. Really pretty color. All right, here we go. Ooh, wow, look at the way that catches the light. This is very glittery. But when you rub your lips together, it doesn't feel like gritty or anything. It's just a lot of shimmer and shine and super, super sparkly. But isn't that pretty? Okay, now setting spray. The only setting spray I own that is not from China is Milani. Milani Make It Last Original, my favorite setting spray of all time, and I'm just trying to see. Made in the USA. Okay, so Milani's products apparently are made in the USA and Italy. Get my fan out. We don't want any droplets or anything. So the only thing that was a fail was the brow product. I mean, it doesn't look too bad, but yeah, if I'm ever going to do this again, I definitely need a brow product that is not so dark because, you know, my hair is extremely light, but my brows are a cool toned dark brown naturally. And they even have another like brown color mixed in if you look at them real carefully when I don't have any makeup on. So it's not always easy to get a brow product for me that matches, that looks natural. So I'm going to have to do some research and look into that. But I like the way this makeup look turned out. So really happy with every product that I used. So first time ever doing a full face of makeup with products that are not made in China. So uh, let me let you go and thank you for watching and subscribing and all that good stuff. And I'll see you next time. Bye.